Money has always followed one simple rule. It flows to those who respect it, study it, and use it with purpose. Wealth isn't luck, it's the reward for discipline and understanding. Some people spend their lives chasing it, while others quietly attract it by mastering the principles that govern it. The truth is, there's no mystery behind success. There are patterns, rules, and timeless habits that the rich never break. These rules aren't written in fancy books or whispered in secret meetings. They're built into how the wealthy think, act, and make decisions every single day. They don't treat money as a tool for showing off. They treat it as a vehicle for freedom, growth, and security. They know how to protect it, multiply it, and put it to work, while others let it slip away in the name of comfort or pleasure. The difference between rich and poor isn't intelligence, it's awareness. It's the quiet decision to live by principles instead of impulses if you're willing to learn and apply these timeless truths. You can rewrite your financial story completely. Stay with me for the next few minutes as I reveal the 10 golden rules that rich people never break. The same principles that can change your entire relationship with money. Let's dive in. Number 1. Master the game before you play it. Before anyone wins in the game of money, they must first understand the game itself. Most people rush into earning, investing, or spending without ever studying how money actually moves. They jump into the ocean without learning how to swim and then wonder why they drown. The rich, however, play by a different rule. They don't guess, they don't gamble. They learn, they observe, and they master the rules before they make their first move. Money is not a mystery. It has patterns, systems, and laws. Those who understand them control them. Those who ignore them serve those who do. The rich spend years learning the language of finance, how taxes work, how debt can be used wisely, how assets grow, and how markets move. They study these things because they know ignorance is the most expensive habit in the world. The poor think learning is costly. The rich know that not learning costs far more. Think about it this way. No athlete becomes a champion by accident. They study the playbook, the strategy, the strengths and weaknesses of every opponent. The game of wealth is no different. You don't walk into it hoping to get lucky. You walk in prepared to win. When you know how the system works, you stop being controlled by it and start using it to your advantage. Before making money, learn how to manage it. Before investing, learn how markets behave. Before spending, learn what truly builds value. This kind of education doesn't come from school. It comes from observation, books, mentors, and experience. The rich are lifelong students. They read about money. They talk about money. They analyze what others overlook because they know knowledge is leverage. Every financial decision you make should come from understanding, not emotion. The moment you stop acting blindly, you stop making beginner mistakes. Mistakes like overspending, taking bad loans, or chasing trends that promise fast returns. The rich are patient. They wait until they understand the rules of the game before playing it at full speed. And once they do, they rarely lose because they've done the groundwork. Others skip. Here's the truth. You can't win a game you don't understand. You can't become wealthy by accident or through luck alone. You need awareness. You need preparation. You need clarity. Wealth rewards those who pay attention, who study the moves of the masters, who ask, "Why does this work?" instead of saying, "I hope it works." So take a step back and study. Read books about money. Learn from those who've built it. Watch how economies shift, how businesses grow, how people multiply their income. Build your knowledge before building your empire. Because once you master the game, you'll never fear losing it again. Wealth doesn't come to those who play fast. It comes to those who play smart. And the smartest move you can ever make is to learn the game before you play it. Number 2, treat money like a loyal partner, not a servant. Money has a strange way of revealing who we really are. For some, it becomes a master that controls their emotions, their relationships, and their peace of mind. For others, it becomes a servant they use recklessly, demanding it to show up whenever they wish without ever respecting how it works. But for the wealthy, money is a loyal partner, something they nurture, protect, and manage wisely. They don't worship it, they don't abuse it, they understand it. The truth is, your relationship with money determines how long it stays with you. If you treat it with care and purpose, it multiplies. If you treat it with ignorance or pride, it disappears faster than you earned it. Many people chase money like a desperate lover, and when they finally get it, they waste it trying to prove they're worthy of it. They spend it on things that don't last just to impress people who don't care. The rich play a different game. They honor money, they give it a job, they make it work for them. When you see money as a partner, you think long term. You plan, you save, you invest, you don't throw it away on short-term pleasure. You understand that money, just like trust, grows stronger when handled responsibly. The rich know that every dollar is a seed. Plant it wisely and it grows into a tree that feeds you for life. Waste it and you'll forever chase crumbs while others enjoy harvests. Money should never be used to show off. It should be used to build up, build security, build freedom, build peace of mind. The rich don't buy things to look rich. They buy time, opportunity, and independence. They see money as a quiet force, not a loud announcement, because they know real wealth whispers. Your goal should never be to make money and spend it. Your goal should be to build a system where money and purpose move together before you spend a dollar. Ask yourself, is this making my life better or just making it look better? That one question can change your financial destiny. Money responds to discipline. It rewards respect. The moment you stop treating it like a servant that exists to please you and start treating it like a partner that works beside you, everything changes. You'll begin to save more, invest more, and think beyond the next weekend or paycheck. You must also learn to control your emotions around money. Fear, greed, and impatience are the enemies of financial peace. The rich know this. They don't panic when markets crash, and they don't celebrate recklessly when they win. They stay balanced because they understand money comes and goes, but wisdom keeps it coming back. So build that relationship. Keep track of where your money goes. Give every dollar a mission. Spend intentionally, save consistently, invest patiently. Because when you treat money like a loyal partner, it works tirelessly for you. But when you treat it like a careless servant, it walks out of your life and never looks back. Respect money and it will respect you. Guide it wisely and it will take you farther than you ever imagined. Number 3, spend less to buy freedom, not status. One of the greatest lies society sells you is that success means spending more. New cars, designer clothes, luxury vacations, these things are pushed as proof that you've made it. But the truth is, rich people don't spend to impress. They spend to progress. They know that every dollar spent on status takes them one step away from freedom. Every unnecessary expense becomes a chain that keeps them tied to work, debt, and worry. Freedom, not luxury, is the ultimate goal. The rich understand that the power of money isn't in what it buys, but in the options it gives. The ability to say no to things you don't want to do. The freedom to wake up and choose how you spend your day. The peace of mind that comes from knowing your future is secure. That's the real flex, not the car in the driveway or the brand on your shirt, but the calm that comes from control. You see, when you chase status, you're spending for others. You're buying approval, validation, and attention. But when you spend for freedom, you're investing in yourself. You're building independence, stability, and strength. The rich make that distinction early. They buy assets before accessories. They build their foundation before showing off the walls. Most people work their entire lives to maintain an image. They buy what they can't afford to impress people they don't even like, and then they wonder why they never feel wealthy. The problem isn't income, it's impulse. The average person gets a raise and immediately upgrades their lifestyle. The rich get a raise and upgrade their investments. That's the difference between looking rich and being rich. Spending less doesn't mean living small. It means living smart. It's about choosing purpose over pride. You don't need to own everything to feel powerful. The wealthy know that simplicity brings clarity. They focus on what adds value, not what adds clutter. They understand that freedom is built by controlling your desires, not satisfying every one of them. If you ever want to test your maturity with money, watch how you react when you have extra. Do you look for a way to grow it, or a way to show it that one choice decides your future? Because wealth doesn't disappear from lack of income. It disappears from lack of discipline. When you spend less, you gain power. You gain the ability to walk away from bad deals, bad jobs, and bad situations. You buy peace, not pressure. You buy time, not toys. And that's the kind of wealth that no one can take from you. So stop trying to look successful. Start building success. Save more. Invest more. Live below your means. Every dollar you don't waste today buys you another day of freedom tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, true wealth isn't about owning everything. It's about owning yourself. Spend less, live light, and walk freely. That's what the rich understand, and that's what most people never learn. Number 4, make money work harder than you do. There comes a point when you realize that no matter how hard you work, there are only 24 hours in a day. Your energy has limits, your time has limits, but money has no limits. It doesn't sleep, it doesn't take breaks, and it doesn't get tired. That's why the rich make one of the smartest decisions of their lives. They stop trading time for money and start making money work for them. Most people spend their entire lives on the wrong side of that trade. They work harder, longer, and faster, thinking more hours will solve their problems. But the truth is, effort alone never creates wealth. Systems do. The rich understand leverage. They build systems, businesses, and investments that keep producing even when they're not there. Their money earns while they rest, while they travel, while they spend time with their families. You have to change the way you see your income. Your job or business is not the finish line. It's the starting point. The goal is not just to earn money, but to use it wisely enough that it begins earning for you. Every paycheck you get is a tool, not a trophy. The poor spend it, the rich assign it, they direct it into places where it multiplies. Assets, investments, education, or ventures that expand their reach. Think of money as your team of workers. Every dollar is an employee. When you waste it, you fire it. When you invest it, you put it to work. The rich keep hiring more workers by saving and investing consistently. They know that one day those workers will cover their living expenses, freeing them from the grind. That's financial freedom. Not winning the lottery, not chasing the next big thing, but building a machine that earns even when you don't. You can't reach that point if you're afraid to invest or if you treat every dollar like it's meant to be spent. You must develop courage and patience. Courage to take calculated risks and patience to let time do its job. Compounding is the quiet miracle of wealth. Small investments that grow while you sleep. The rich understand that. They let their money breathe, expand, and reproduce over years. They don't check the clock. They trust the process. But this requires discipline. It's easy to say, I'll invest when I make more. No, you invest so that you can make more. Waiting for the perfect moment is just an excuse dressed as caution. Start small, but start now. Even if it's a small portion of your income, direct it into something that grows. Because once you start the habit of multiplying money, your mindset changes forever. Working hard creates comfort. Making money work creates freedom. And the ultimate goal is freedom to buy back your time, to control your choices, and to live life on your terms. So remember this: money is a powerful servant, but a terrible master. Don't just work for it, train it to work for you. Build the systems. Take the risk. Let your money clock in even when you clock out. Number 5, protect your money like it's a soldier in battle. Every dollar you earn is a soldier that fights for your financial freedom. You've worked hard to earn it. You've sacrificed your time for it. And now your job is to protect it. Because if you don't, someone else will gladly take it from you. The rich understand this deeply. They don't just focus on making money. They focus on keeping it. Because making money builds wealth once, but protecting it builds wealth for life. Most people are careless with their money. They treat it like an endless stream instead of a limited resource. They earn today, spend tomorrow, and worry later. But the wealthy see money as something that must be guarded, guided, and given a clear mission. They understand that every dollar wasted is a soldier lost in battle. A soldier that could have fought for their future, their family, or their dreams. When you see money this way, you begin to handle it differently. You think before spending, you plan before committing. You protect it from bad decisions, toxic habits, and emotional impulses. Because money doesn't vanish on its own. It's lost through poor choices. Every impulse buy, every careless investment, every "I'll figure it out later" moment slowly weakens your financial army. The rich don't just make plans, they build defenses. They ensure what matters. They diversify. They study risk before opportunity. They understand that wealth isn't about what you make, it's about what you keep after life. Test you. Protecting your money means creating boundaries against bad deals, manipulative people, and emotional spending. Many people lose their fortune not because of lack of income, but because they fail to guard it. They trust the wrong people, follow the wrong advice, and chase the wrong shortcuts. The rich, on the other hand, are careful. They know when to say no. They know how to wait. They research before they risk. That patience and protection mentality is what keeps them rich even when the market shakes, when the world changes, when others panic. Treat your money like your future depends on it, because it does. Don't throw it into places you don't understand. Don't hand it over to people who promise fast returns. Every investment should make sense to you before it makes sense to anyone else. If you can't explain how it grows, don't invest in it. That's how the wise think. They don't chase shiny opportunities, they chase secure ones. Also, learn to separate emotion from money. Fear and greed destroy more wealth than bad markets ever could. Fear makes you freeze, greed makes you rush. Both will rob you if you let them. Stay calm, stay strategic. Protect your soldiers, and they'll protect you back. Every dollar is a step toward your freedom or your downfall. It depends on how you treat it. Guard it, grow it, give it direction. Because once you start treating your money like it's in a battlefield, you'll realize that the goal isn't just to make more soldiers. It's to keep them alive and fighting for your legacy. Number 6, turn every loss into a lesson, not a lifetime scar. Losses are part of the journey. There's no escaping them. Every person who has ever built real wealth has faced failure, setbacks, and painful mistakes along the way. The difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck isn't luck. It's perspective. The rich don't see a loss as the end. They see it as information. They see it as a teacher. They see it as a temporary cost for long-term wisdom. You can't win every time, and that's okay. What matters is that every time you lose, you learn something valuable. Most people let one bad investment, one poor decision, or one financial setback define them. They hold on to that pain and turn it into fear. They stop trying, they stop learning. But the wealthy think differently. They don't avoid pain, they analyze it. They ask, what did this teach me? How can I make sure it never happens again? That mindset turns losses into tuition fees for success. Failure is not a dead end, it's data. It's feedback from reality telling you what doesn't work. And once you know what doesn't work, you're closer to finding what does. Every great investor, entrepreneur, and builder understands this truth. They've all been burned before, but they use the ashes to light their next fire. The reason most people never reach success is because they let fear of loss control their decisions. They play small, they avoid risk. They'd rather stay comfortable than learn from discomfort. But comfort never made anyone rich. Growth demands a little pain, a little confusion, a little chaos. That's the price you pay for mastery. The rich expect losses. They plan for them. They know the market will shift, deals will fail, and people will disappoint. But they don't let any of it break their confidence. Instead of reacting emotionally, they respond intelligently. They adjust, recalibrate, and move forward with sharper awareness because they understand that losing money is temporary, but losing your mindset is permanent. If you ever make a mistake with money, don't hide from it. Study it. Sit down with the numbers. Ask yourself what warning signs you missed. Was it greed? Was it impatience? Was it ignorance? Every loss leaves clues. And when you face them head on, you gain wisdom that no book or seminar can teach. The rich don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They bounce back, they rebuild, they refuse to be defined by failure. And ironically, that's what makes them unstoppable. Because when you take away a person's fear of losing, you take away their limits. So the next time you fall short, don't see it as defeat, see it as training. Each mistake is a lesson in disguise. Each setback is a sharpening stone. Each failure is a hidden investment in your future strength. Remember, money lost can be regained, but lessons ignored can cost you everything. Don't let losses scar you, let them sculpt you. Learn fast, recover faster, and use every fall as fuel for your comeback. That's how winners think, and that's why they always rise again. Number 7. Surround yourself with people who think in millions, not in excuses. If you ever want to change your financial future, start by changing your circle. The people you spend time with shape your standards, your conversations, and your level of ambition. You can't think like a millionaire while spending your days around people who complain about Mondays and celebrate Fridays. You can't grow when everyone around you is shrinking. The rich understand this truth deeply. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. We are all mirrors of the people we spend the most time with. If your circle talks about problems, you'll think in problems. If your circle talks about possibilities, you'll start thinking in possibilities. That's why wealthy people are selective about who they allow into their space. They surround themselves with thinkers, builders, and doers, people who talk about ideas, not gossip. They prefer rooms where they feel challenged, not comfortable. The energy of your circle either drains you or drives you. Spend time with dreamers who make you believe you can do more. Be around people who make you slightly uncomfortable because their standards are higher than yours. Growth requires that kind of discomfort. You can't become better by being the smartest person in the room. The rich know this. They intentionally seek out mentors, peers, and partners who force them to stretch, to think bigger, and to level up. Excuses are contagious. So is excellence. If your environment normalizes mediocrity, you'll settle for less without realizing it. But if your environment normalizes success, you'll push for more without needing motivation. The people around you silently define what's acceptable. That's why the rich protect their mental environment like they protect their bank accounts. They don't spend time debating limitations. They spend time finding solutions. They don't talk about what's wrong with the economy. They talk about what opportunities it creates. They don't see success as competition. They see it as proof that it's possible. And that mindset rubs off on everyone who spends time with them. If you want to change your financial reality, stop seeking comfort in conversations that go nowhere. Start seeking friction in conversations that make you think. Ask questions like, what are you building? What are you reading? How are you investing? These are the questions that keep your mind sharp and your goals alive. You must also learn to walk away from toxic circles. Some people love to complain. They thrive on negativity because it excuses their lack of action. But the moment you start dreaming bigger, they'll try to pull you back down to their level. Don't argue with them. Don't explain yourself. Just move forward. Distance yourself from energy that drains your drive. Surround yourself with winners, not because they're perfect, but because they're progressing. Be in rooms where ambition is normal, where success is expected, and where the language of growth is spoken daily. Because when you spend enough time around people who think in millions, your own thinking starts to expand. Your standards rise, your habits shift, and before you know it, you'll be living at the level you once thought was out of reach. Number 8. Never trade long-term wealth for short-term pleasure. One of the greatest traps that keeps people broke is the desire for instant gratification, the need to have everything now. The new phone, the latest car, the weekend getaway, the feeling of, I deserve it. But the truth is, every time you choose pleasure over progress, you push your dreams further away. The rich understand this better than anyone. They don't think in weekends, they think in decades. They're not chasing comfort today, they're building freedom for tomorrow. It's not that they don't enjoy life, they do. But they understand timing. They know there's a season to plant and a season to harvest. They're willing to sacrifice temporary comfort for permanent control. That's what separates those who stay stuck from those who rise. Most people want results fast, but aren't willing to stay patient. The rich do the opposite. They invest time, effort, and consistency long before the rewards show up. You can't build wealth if every small success turns into an excuse to spend. You can't get ahead if every impulse becomes a purchase. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And it's not glamorous. It's quiet. It's repetitive. And it's often lonely. But while everyone else is chasing short-term excitement, the disciplined are quietly building empires brick by brick. Think about it. The poor buy things to look rich. The rich buy things that make them richer. They put their money into assets, not appearances. They delay the dopamine rush because they know real pleasure isn't in buying, it's in becoming. It's in seeing your money grow, your options expand, and your freedom multiply. Instant gratification is expensive. It costs you your peace, your time, and your potential. Every impulse you indulge today takes something from your future. But when you resist that urge, when you say, "Not yet," you're investing in your future self. The rich think in terms of return, not reaction. They ask, if I spend this now, what will it cost me later? That's wisdom, that's control. Patience is the secret ingredient of every lasting fortune. You don't get rich by doing something once, you get rich by doing something right over and over. That requires focus, consistency, and the ability to wait. Waiting is not weakness, it's strength under control. It's the quiet power of someone who knows where they're going. So ask yourself, what pleasures are costing you your progress? Maybe it's your daily habits, your unnecessary expenses, or your constant need to reward yourself. Learn to delay the desire to consume and channel it into the desire to create. The moment you stop needing instant rewards, you gain long-term power. Because wealth isn't about what you can afford today, it's about what you can sustain tomorrow. The rich play the long game. They trade short-term pleasures for long-term peace, short-term validation for lasting value. So resist the quick fix, delay the impulse, stay patient. Every time you say no to instant pleasure, you say yes to lasting prosperity. And that's how the rich keep winning, by thinking far beyond the moment. Number 9, keep growing when others get comfortable. The most dangerous point in anyone's journey is not when they're struggling, it's when they start winning. Comfort has destroyed more dreams than failure ever did. The moment you start thinking, "I've made it," you stop growing. The rich understand this better than anyone. They never see success as a finish line. It's just another checkpoint. They know that the moment they stop learning, the world starts passing them by. Comfort feels good, but it's a silent trap. It whispers, "You've done enough." It tells you to relax, to slow down, to take it easy. But growth doesn't live in comfort. Growth happens in challenge, in change, in motion. The rich stay hungry even after they've eaten. They celebrate, yes, but they don't settle. They understand that wealth, like fitness or knowledge, requires maintenance. If you stop feeding it, it starts fading. Look at anyone who has built something lasting, a business, a legacy, a fortune. You'll notice one common trait: they keep reinventing themselves. They study new trends, explore new ideas, and keep evolving. When others get stuck in their habits, they never say, "I know enough." Instead, they ask, "What else can I learn?" That's why they stay ahead while others fade into the background. Most people climb just enough to feel comfortable. Once the bills are paid and life feels stable, they lose the fire that got them there. They trade growth for convenience, curiosity for routine. But here's the truth: what got you here won't get you there. The habits that created your first success won't be enough for your next one. You must grow bigger than your previous version. Again and again, the rich treat personal growth like a lifelong mission. They read daily, they attend seminars, they surround themselves with thinkers who challenge their ideas. They're never the smartest person in the room by choice. They understand that staying relevant requires constant renewal. The economy changes, technology evolves, markets shift. If you're not growing, you're falling behind. Complacency kills potential. It makes you believe you've arrived, when in reality you've only just begun. The rich never allow their comfort to outgrow their curiosity. They live by the principle that there's always another level, another way to improve, another way to serve, another way to earn. That mindset keeps them sharp, adaptable, and unstoppable. So, if you've achieved something, don't sit still. Build on it. Reinvent yourself. Learn new skills. Seek new challenges. You're not done yet. Success should never make you slower. It should make you smarter. Every new level of your life demands a new version of you. And if you're not upgrading yourself, you're downgrading your potential. The rich don't fear starting over because they've built themselves into people who can win again and again. That's the secret. You become the asset, not your job, not your business, not your money. You keep growing when others stop. Keep learning when others think they know enough. Keep improving when others are comfortable, because the moment you choose growth over comfort, you choose to stay ahead forever. Number 10. Give back to multiply what you have. There's a powerful truth that the rich understand: money grows when it moves. When it circulates with purpose, it expands. When it's hoarded in fear, it shrinks. That's why the wealthiest people in the world don't just focus on earning. They focus on giving. They know that generosity isn't charity, it's strategy. It creates momentum, builds relationships, opens opportunities, and keeps abundance flowing in their lives. Giving doesn't make you weaker. It makes you richer in ways that money alone never could. It strengthens your mindset, humbles your ego, and reminds you that wealth has a purpose beyond comfort. The rich give not just to help others, but to grow themselves. They understand that the act of giving changes how you see the world and how the world sees you. But giving isn't always about writing big checks. It's about contribution. It's about sharing your time, your knowledge, your guidance, your resources. It's about lifting others with what you already have, no matter how small it seems. Because when you give from a place of strength, you signal to the universe that you have more than enough, and that energy comes back multiplied. People with a scarcity mindset fear giving. They believe every dollar given is a dollar lost. But the rich know that every seed planted is a future harvest. They give with intention, not out of guilt or show. They give to build trust, to create goodwill, to expand impact. That's why they attract more opportunities, more partnerships, and more growth. Because generosity builds invisible bridges that money alone never could. There's a simple law of life. What you hold tightly, you lose. What you give freely, you gain. When you share your blessings, you create space for new ones to enter. It's not just a moral principle, it's a financial truth. The more value you bring into the lives of others, the more valuable you become. The world rewards those who make others' lives better. Think about it. Every great business, every successful venture, every lasting legacy is built around service. Someone saw a need, solved a problem, or provided something of value. That's giving. The rich don't just ask, "How can I make more money?" They ask, "How can I help more people?" That question leads to innovation, trust, and wealth that lasts. And the beauty of giving is that it keeps you grounded. It reminds you where you came from. It keeps greed out of your heart and gratitude in your mind. It protects you from arrogance and keeps your wealth aligned with purpose. When you give, you grow. You expand not just financially but emotionally and spiritually. So give your time, your attention, your energy, your knowledge, and your resources. Not because you have to, but because you want to. Do it quietly, sincerely, and with meaning. You'll find that the more you pour out, the more life pours back in. Because true wealth isn't measured by what you keep, it's measured by what you contribute. The rich know this secret well. You don't lose by giving, you multiply. The path to wealth isn't a mystery, it's a discipline. These 10 golden rules aren't tricks or shortcuts. They're timeless truths that the rich live by every single day. They understand that money is not the goal. It's the result. The result of clarity, consistency, courage, and character. They think long-term when others chase short-term comfort. They study before they act. protect what they earn, and make their money serve them, not the other way around. Wealth begins in the mind long before it appears in the bank. It starts with awareness, knowing that every decision either builds your freedom or breaks it. The rich live by principles, not emotions. They don't buy for status, they buy for purpose. They don't surround themselves with complainers, they surround themselves with creators. They don't let fear control them. They use it as a teacher. They give not to impress, but to express gratitude. And above all, they stay disciplined even when no one is watching. The truth is, anyone can become wealthy, not because of luck, but because of alignment. When your habits, mindset, and decisions align with these principles, wealth begins to follow you naturally. It's not about where you start, it's about how consistently you move in the right direction. So start today. Learn before you leap. Spend with wisdom. Invest with patience. Protect what you earn. Grow beyond comfort. And when abundance arrives, share it with purpose. Because the ultimate goal isn't just to make a living. It's to design a life. Remember this, money doesn't change who you are. It amplifies what's already within you. Build discipline, build character, and wealth will take care of itself. Let these 10 golden rules guide you not just to riches, but to freedom, peace, and purpose. The kind of wealth that can't be spent, but can be lived.